And are we live yet? Are we live yet? Come on. Come on, StreamYard and or YouTube, whatever's causing the hold up. It's always a little bit of a delay, but I do want to make sure. Yep, the camera's working. Okay, so here we go with another DC Multiverse unboxing, and this is another Halloween edition. This one is Shazam from DC versus Vampires. You know, you got a vampire Shazam. I gotta say, I think you missed an opportunity not just calling him Shazampire. I'm just saying. Of course, for some of us, this character is always going to be Captain Marvel. We're, yeah, like for the real ones out there, for those of us who have been in for the long haul, this character is Captain Marvel. And I've discussed before in my theory that the real reason for the name change is not some kind of legal nonsense with Marvel Comics, because he was called Captain Marvel for decades after Marvel Comics came along, and Marvel Comics didn't really have a problem with it. They put it up on they weren't allowed to call him Captain Marvel on covers. You didn't see that very often. They weren't allowed to have a comic book called Captain Marvel because Marvel had that name trademarked as a comic book title, but they could still call him Captain Marvel in the interiors, and it was fine. No, I suspect the real reason they started calling him Shazam is because they knew that they had a movie coming out about this character and did not want to say the M word in a DC movie. So I suspect that's the case. Bobby Wald is here, and he says, I see as a child, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, since he transforms from a kid. I see him more as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde since he transforms from a kid. Well, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was one of the inspirations for the Incredible Hulk. And I know Jack Kirby was a big fan of Captain Marvel, so he might have been one of the inspirations for the Hulk, too. I know he was one of the inspirations for Thor, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the inspirations for OMAC. I think OMAC was Kirby's way of doing his own version of Captain Marvel. Oh, there's the artwork on the back of the package. So I wasn't too crazy about this figure when it first came out. I never read the DC versus Vampires comic. This blister came off very easily, by the way. Set that trading card aside for now. I never read the comic, so I don't know the storyline. And I saw this gruesome vampire version of Captain Marvel, who's normally such a sweet and innocent character. He's sunny, And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I felt a certain way about it, and I wasn't sure that it was a good feeling. But, when you see a Mcfarlane figure marked down to, in this case, it says $12, and I might have got it for cheaper. Sometimes they ring up cheaper. But even $12 is a pretty good deal. I saw him, and I'm like, you know what? I bet I could get some custom use out of him, if nothing else. So, if anybody out there has actually read the DC versus Vampires comic and thinks it's worth me reading, let me know. I know I read the old Batman Dracula Red Rain and Batman Bloodstorm and Batman Crimson Mist vampire trilogy back in the day, but Batman seems like a more natural crossover for vampires than any other DC character. I kind of almost feel like, and I've seen him do it a few times, like you put Superman up against a vampire, and it's just kind of silly for whatever reason. And you can disagree with me in the comments if you want, but I don't know why, because I don't think Superman is a particularly silly character when James Gunn's not handling him, and I don't think that vampires are a particularly silly concept. Although you can get some comedy out of them, like Love at First Bite, Dracula Dead and Loving It. But they're not like inherently silly. So I don't know why I don't know why there's another rubber tab down here. That's foolishness. All right, I got him out. But yeah, Superman versus vampires just kind of struck me as being kind of a little bit silly. I don't know why. You can disagree with me in the comments if you want. So I've had this figure for a while, and he came out like I want to say over a year ago. But one thing that I think is really funny about him in hindsight, and I wouldn't have thought about this at the time because that movie hadn't come out yet, is he actually looks a lot like Graf Orlok from the 2024 Nosferatu remake, the Robert Eggers version of Bill Skarsgård as Graf Orlok. He has the same exact haircut, pretty much, where it's just almost kind of like a mohawk type haircut. And I know that with Orlok, Eggers' intention was he wanted him to look like an older, like an ancient Eastern European warrior, like the Cossacks and things like that. And that was a hairstyle that was common among like such people. I don't know why Shazam has that haircut. I don't know where they got that idea from. Oddly enough, I think Captain Marvel's usual haircut is already kind of almost like a vampire haircut, where it's the wet look, the slick back thing going on. His hair is a little more curly, but it still is that sort of Bela Lugosi kind of thing, where you get some pomade and just slick it all back. So Captain Marvel was, of course, based on Fred McMurray, but it's like he already kind of had a vampire hairstyle, so I don't know what's up with that. So maybe I can use this to make a Nosferatu figure. Maybe that's what I'll wind up doing with him. But you see, he's got a really nice lightning bolt on the chest. It's spattered with blood because it's a vampire, and he's got bloody clawed hands. He's just really gruesome looking, and he's got extra fists, but they seem like they would probably just be like the extra fists that would have come with the regular Shazam figure. I think that this is the new 52 Captain Marvel that was a Walmart exclusive, but the distribution on it was horrible, so I was never able to get it. And I think that they used that as a basis for this figure. Just gave him a new head and new hands and a new cape. So I wish I could have got that figure because that one looked pretty cool. I'm glad that they finally did a classic Captain Marvel figure. And that one was also impossible to find. Thanks, Mcfarlane. I was able to find 2 Captain Thunder figures. You can see, I think I did a short where I was talking about it. But the second of the Platinum Edition was easier to find. So I got the Platinum Edition twice and redid one of those into a classic Captain Marvel. But yeah, this would have been a new 52 Captain Marvel anyway. And new 52 Captain Marvel is one of the few new 52 costumes I don't really mind so much. So that's cool. But got a lot of stuff I got to throw out over here. And my couch is a little bit messier than usual because I actually was putting some stuff up on my walls. So there's stuff that I took down, and I got to throw away all these boxes. But my recycling was slap full. And they came by and got the recycling today. So I'll probably take those and toss those out in the recycling today. And I'm gonna get this couch cleaned off. I want to at least make it look like somebody can actually, like a human being, can actually sit here. So anyway, let's talk about the articulation on this guy. And I'm gonna keep calling this figure Shazam because I don't really feel comfortable calling him Captain Marvel, if that makes any sense, because he's just too damn gruesome. So anyway, you can look up about that far, look down about that far, tilt his head kind of quizzically from side to side, but rotate the head all the way around. Of course, the arms rotate all the way around at the shoulders. They do kind of bump into this flared cape, though. He's got this raggedy, flared cape where it's just all tattered and torn and everything. and I'm guessing that must have been like sculpted for this figure. Of course, he's got a bicep swivel. The bicep should rotate all the way around. There we go. Got it to go. All right. He's got double jointed elbows. That's about the range of motion you get at the elbows. I think it would bend in. Oddly enough, I think his hand is bumping up against this cape, and it might go a little bit further than that. I don't know. He's got the cool Mcfarlane wrist articulation, so you can move the wrists all the way around, which, of course, he's got the gruesome, bloody claws. Actually, they only put the blood on the right claws, not the left. Don't know why they did that. He's got the cool Mcfarlane torso articulation, so you can lean this way and that. You can bend back about that far, bend forward about that far, and of course rotates all the way around where the torso, where the rib cage meets the abs, and where the abs meet the trunks. All right. He's got a little bit of wobble right there, but a little bit less than what Mcfarlane figures usually have. He can kick forward about that far. Got a double jointed knee. That's about the range of motion you get at the knee. No boot cut, even though I'm pretty sure this is a separate piece of plastic, and they easily could have done that. But he's got the cool Mcfarlane ankle articulation, so it doesn't really matter. The ankle rotates all the way around where the ankle meets the shin, and the ankle rotates all the way around where the ankle meets the foot. He can point his foot down about that far. You can see they did that joint as red for some reason. I don't know why they chose red instead of gold, but whatever. His foot can point up about that far, and then he's got toe articulation just to show off. So this is definitely a niche figure, and I kind of suspect that, you know, a lot of people like me, you know, even if you're a fan of Captain Marvel as a character, yeah, you might not be too into the idea of a vampire Shazam. It might just be a weird sort of concept for you. I don't want to see my boy corrupted like that. He's a sweetheart. and you know, the other figure that was plentiful of Captain Marvel that I could have gotten for cheap easily and never did was the King Shazam figure, which I don't remember what the deal was with that. He might have been like an Earth 3 thing. And I'm like, why are like the easiest Shazam figures to get in Mcfarlane the ones where he's been corrupted somehow? Why is that, Todd? Why are you doing my boy like that? Just give us like an easy to find, like, good guy Shazam figure. Like even the movie Shazam figure, the Fury of the Gods one, I never saw that one at retail. I mean, like, I was able to get one fairly easily on Amazon, and I was even able to get the 2-pack with him and Captain Marvel Jr. for cheap on Amazon, like for really cheap, for dirt cheap. For a while there, you could get that thing for like $15. That's half the price of one Mcfarlane figure, let alone, like, you know, a 2-pack. That was a crazy good deal. So I guess that figure just didn't sell well at all. But you know, everybody wanted that the Page Punchers one, the classic Captain Marvel. Everybody was really excited about that one. Thump, no distribution on it at all. Like I said, the Platinum Edition was easier to find than that one. That's how badly distributed that figure was. So big old goose egg for Mcfarlane on the distribution on that figure. But this guy was easy to find, and he was a Walmart exclusive, I think. I want to say, isn't it Gold Label? Yep, Gold Label. That was a Walmart exclusive. That was a Walmart exclusive that Walmart made. Make sure we order plenty of those. Make sure we order plenty of those Vampire Shazam figures, because those are going to sell like hotcakes. Commissioner Gordon? Screw that. They don't need Commissioner Gordon. Batman Year One? Don't they have enough Batman figures? It's not like they're going to go crazy over a Batman Year One figure. I'm McFarlane. I'm Walmart. That's how that went. That's how that conversation went. There, you got to see me off on a rant. That's where they clip it. Look at this crazy guy on YouTube talking about action figures. That's where they clip it. Not where I'm being like, you know, all you know, intelligent and, and cultured, and sharing interesting facts about the history of these figures. No, they'll get me where I'm like doing weird noises like that. Look at this nerd. But yeah, so this is a really niche figure. I don't know if a whole lot of people would want to have them, but I figured the people who like this sort of thing would love this sort of thing. So then they might want to pick it up. Other than that, like I said, I mainly picked him up because I thought he'd make for some good custom fodder. And I'm a guy who likes creepy things, and I'm a guy who likes Captain Marvel, but I don't want Captain Marvel to be a creepy thing. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Am I explaining myself properly? So I might be able to make a decent Captain Marvel figure out of the body, and I might wind up taking the head and the hands and making a pretty cool Groff Orlok figure for something else. But I guess we'll just see, won't we? Anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If I'd have known that I was going to get this Scarecrow figure so soon, I would have done the Scarecrow instead of opening up Vampire Shazam. But I already said I was going to open up Vampire Shazam. So Vampire Shazam is what I opened up on this episode. But since I know I have the Scarecrow now, and it's still Halloween time, it's still a perfect time to open up the Scarecrow, isn't it? So that's going to be the next episode. We're going to open up the Scarecrow. Should be a lot of fun. Still got Superboy. Hopefully I can open that up with Cat and have fun. We can get together and do something with that sometime soon. Still got the couple of Superman 2025 movie figures that I've got to open. I've still got the whole set. I was really excited to find this guy with the Scarecrows and more Christmas theme. How? Bobby Wald says Scarecrows and more Christmas theme. Nah, I don't say. Not even sarcastically. But I'm really excited. I finally got the white Jor-El figure. He's supposed to be the, from what I've heard, the harder one to find of these. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but I had a hard time finding him. He was the last one that I found, and then the day that I found him, I found two of them, so I bought them both because I'm gonna be that guy right now. So I do want to have a set of these. Seriously, I do want to have a set of these to keep on the card. So I'm glad I was able to get a second one of him at the time. At the very least, I'd like to have him and Superman both on the card. And I would have bought an extra Superman at that time, but all the Superman figures they had, their emblems were kind of janky. The quality is really inconsistent on those Superman logos, and I'm lucky I found one as good as I did. And even that one I don't think is perfect. Did Bobby Wald ask, did you ever look at that Fresh Monkey Fiction toy line? They have Naughty or Nice with Santas and Krampus. I think I have seen those. Those are pretty cool. So, I might try to get a Santa Claus in time for Christmas. That might be fun. That might not be a bad idea. Oh, I forgot about the figure stand. There's the figure stand. It's the older style with the matte black figure stand with the glossy DC logo embossed onto it. And we should go ahead and read the trading card because I almost forgot to read the trading card. But there it is with the same piece of artwork. Rare's on the back. Nice piece of artwork. There's what the back of the card looks like, and it reads, Shazam, DC versus Vampires, data file, real name Billy Batson, possessing the powers of the living lightning. Billy Batson is an unlikely hero, a cocky, delinquent foster child constantly grappling with responsibilities that come with his immense powers as the keeper of magic. Billy is still a teenager, and Shazam is the idealized grown-up version of him. At times, the responsibility of being the standard bearer for the Council of Eternity can seem impossible to live up to. However, Billy's foster siblings always have his back, and after a rocky start with their relationship, so does the Justice League. What he lacks in experience, he makes up for in courage, and soon becomes known as the Earth's mightiest mortal. Yeah, but I think they're missing a big part of the backstory of this particular version of the character, namely that he's a freaking vampire. That seems like an important footnote they kind of glossed over there, doesn't it? Bobby Wald says, I'm up in the air getting Zombie Santa or GI Santa. GI Santa sounds cool. Like I actually did have, I don't know if I still have it around, but I made a G.I. Joe Santa Claus custom figure uh, because Rogue Haunts is here and says, hi, good morning. Hello to you too. But yeah, I did make actually a G.I. Joe, like a 25th anniversary type Santa Claus figure, which was a pretty easy custom because I had an extra comic pack Hardmaster and an extra Rise of Cobra shipwreck head. So I just kind of repainted the shipwreck head so he had a white beard and a red cap, and put it on the Hardmaster body, and the Santa Claus done. Honestly, like since I got like a bunch of those shipwreck heads, maybe I should make a Steve Zissou now that I'm thinking about it, because white beard, red cap. Who's Rogue Haunts? You're Rogue Haunts. It says so right there. Or am I saying that? Is it Rouge Haunts? I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Forgive my dyslexia. So it's Rouge Haunts. I'm sorry. I'm slightly dyslexic, so sometimes I get my letters mixed around. Like I see that combination of letters and I think Rogue because I like X-Men. So my bad. So anyway, that's it for this episode. I'll make sure I pronounce your name correctly in the future. I do apologize for that. I don't like mispronouncing people's names. That's never fun. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Vampire Shazam. And like I said, if you actually read the DC versus Vampires comic, I would appreciate you letting me know if it's any good in the comics and comments, and if it's worth checking out. Personally, this figure is a little gruesome for my taste as far as a Shazam figure goes, but it is a cool vampire figure. I'm gonna say that this is a guy who was cosplaying as Captain Marvel at a convention, and then he got turned into a vampire. That's gonna be my explanation for it. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. YouTube likes it when I say like and subscribe, so please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. I like it when you leave comments. Let me know anything you want me to know about this video, or if I talk too much. And sometimes people say I talk too much, and I'm like, that's the whole point of the video. It's like complaining there's cheese on your pizza. Like, what are you doing? If you don't want to hear me yammer on, just watch something else. It's not that hard. There's a whole YouTube out there to explore and enjoy. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We will talk to you next time.